Hey, good morning, everyone. How you doing out there? How's everybody? Good morning. Hey, good morning, Mark. How are you? Thanks for being here. Hello, Emma. Hey, good morning, Ed, Alan, Emmett, Gold, Sunny. Good morning. That's the only names I can see right now. Happy Tuesday. Hey, Nancy, good morning. Hey, Nancy, I see our SLV is gapping up a little bit. Nice call. Thank you for letting me follow you into that. Here, I need to get this over here changed. Okay, let me get the music turned off. This might take a second, folks. I'm trying to get fancy here. So let's stop that. Hey, woo, let's fix that, huh? So let's get a chart over there. There we go. Hey, good morning, William. There we go. Now we're cruising. There we are. Okay. Let's fix this. There we go. You like that, Ed? You can see that I've been playing with AI. That came when AI sent it to me. I had no idea it had sound in there, but the sound doesn't come over to restream for some reason. So I don't know. So I'll have to figure that out. But you can hear the bear growling and everything. It's kind of cool. But yeah, that's kind of cool, isn't it? All righty. Hey, good morning, Coach. How you doing? Hey, Coach. Speaking of you, yesterday in the members room, we were talking about one of Coach's trade setups where the 3 crosses the 8 and everything. I actually created a scan. You all know that. And the title of it is Coach. So thank you for sharing your ideas. I appreciate that. And yeah, really appreciate it. So thank you. Hey, let's not forget. Well, excuse me here. I need to go find something. I had it up, then I lost it, and I have it up again. Hey, after the new year gets kicked off here, John, BYOB Trading, that's one of our trading family trading rooms. On January 5th, he's having an open house on day trading, and love for you to join in there. I think you do have to register, so get the link from somewhere. We send it out email. It's posted on social media. It's posted on my social media, posted on John's social media. It'll be posted on Right Way Options social media. So grab that link, register. It's free. It's free. Okay, so it's worth it. Take a look at John and see what he does there. He does pretty good. He does real good, actually. Okay, so let's see. Let's start. Hey, let's talk about the title of today is I think I wrote, let's talk about the trend. And there's only a couple of things in stock trading that really you need. I know a lot of people chasing around different strategies and different ways to trade. And those that keep chasing strategies, what they're really doing is they're looking for the pot of gold. They're looking for this magic strategy. There is no such thing, okay? None. It just, there's not. What makes it magic is the consistency that you use it. So there's hundreds and hundreds of trading strategies out there. My suggestion would be to find one that makes sense to you and then perfect it. Be the best at it, because just bouncing around from strategy to strategy, it's not going to work. And if the market has a real crappy day and that strategy you're using just is not working, take the hint, take the sign, don't trade. The strategy is not broken, the setup is not broken, the market is broken at that moment. So, don't always be changing around. Anyway, one of the number one things I think that's so important in a chart is the trend. Now, there's bottom picking, which has got nothing to do with the trend. And that, for those that do that, that's great. We all do it from time to time. Some of us do it a lot, but let's focus on the trend, okay? So one of the things is everybody, I think, the majority of traders out there it is, majority of traders out there look at a low going to a low and then just extending that line, and that's your trend. They're absolutely right. I totally agree with that. There's other ways to make a trend. The way I make a trend is just using moving averages. But please don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean that I don't draw lines like this. It doesn't mean that I don't recognize it. It's there. But since I trade with moving averages and price action, that's what I'm looking for. So my trend is really simple. I talk about this all the time, and I want price. Price I consider not a moving average, but it fits in the same category. Price is moving. And so what I'm after is price above that white line, which is just the 8 EMA, and then the 8 EMA above what we call the trend indicator, or the red and green dots right there. They're the red right there, and they're green. So that's my trend, and that's my trading trend. All right. Now, if we go from the lows here and up, the trend is actually trending up. This doesn't make the trend. The trend to me would be 50% between the highs and the lows all the way through there. The trend line that I've got drawn here just makes it easy to see where the lows are. Often price does come back to that trend, and often it does not. So I would almost suggest that for every chart you see that actually comes back to the trend, for every 100 charts or 1,000 charts, there's just exactly that many that don't come back to that trend, that follow a moving average trend. So use both, maybe. Use that as part of your strategy there. Anyway, so if we look at the SPY here, you can see it's clearly trending up. I could say the wall of worry. That's a common thing for traders to say, because it's kind of, it's not breaking out, I guess. It's moving sideways here. A lot of people are saying, it goes higher, but I think every person that says that has a little bit of skepticism in it, because it's not getting there. So we want to pay attention to that. We want to pay attention to the trend. In my case, I'm going to pay attention to that, that the lows right here moving up. But more than anything, I'm going to pay attention to my trading trend up there. And as long as that can hold together, then I'm going to maintain that this market is bullish. I don't care what kind of top it has on it. I don't really care what kind of candlestick pattern shape it has on it. While I do follow those and I do believe in them, I do believe trend is more important, and I do believe price action is more important. So those are the keys there. So let's keep an eye on trend. All right. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. I was up last night making some notes. Actually, I was watching BoobTube making some notes, and I just started writing notes to myself on the trend. And anyway, there we go. All right, Look at the SPY. You can see the SPY is looking good. We had a push down yesterday. Looks like we're holding today, at least for pre-market. The proof will be at the end of the day if we can hold the 8 EMA or the white line, or what we call the T line here. Let's take a look at the Qs. The Qs are doing pretty well. Let's get my crayon out. There we go. You can see we've gone from these lows to that high, and then here we're back down, right? Well, look at price. Look at the 8 EMA. Look at the trend indicator, right? We're doing well. And as a bonus, we're over the 50-period moving average, and the 15-period moving average is trending. Now, this one really shows it off pretty good. So let me show you something I do. There it is. If you follow that blue line and follow it backwards, see that dot right there? It's just something TC2000 can do. I would imagine all programs can do that. I don't think it's anything special, although I kind of dig it. So that's 50 days back. That's where this 50-period moving average started, or started 50 days ago there. So I'm going to draw a line from there and go right to where we are right now and skip everything else. I mean, that's what we do with price, isn't it? I mean, don't we do that? We just draw a line from here and we skip everything else. So why isn't it fair to do this? I had somebody the other day tell me, well, that's not right. Why isn't it? Well, why not? Well, you've got to account for all the movement of the 50-period moving average. Well, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. You can't have it both ways. If you're counting this low to this high, wait a minute now. You can't count that. You've got to count every stinking move in here and figure out where the average is, right? No, you don't. So draw a line from that point there, draw it up to that point, and that makes the trend I'm going to look at. So let's go take a look at that. I'm going to put that line right there and go right up there. There we go, about there. And we have that line drawn down, coming on those tops. Well, you can see how we're in a wedge right here. Bullish move, bullish chart. We start to break out. Well, we just might get going and get higher in this market like we think we are going to do here. Hey, Sonny, good morning. Are you throwing a New Year's party in the room? Wishing everyone a great and healthy New Year. Sonny, Happy New Year too. And you're right. Happy New Year to everybody. No, I don't want to be responsible for anybody coming to the office and drinking and having to drive home. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Anyway, so I think we're doing pretty well right there. Take a look at the diamonds. Diamonds are tracking up very nice. Let's get rid of that. We don't need it. Look at the trend indicator trend right there. Look at that. Look at that trend indicator trend. Let's just, where it went from green to red, let's just grab a hold of that and draw that up like there. Remember, that's just our trend indicator. It's just a moving average. And so there's the trend we're looking at, right? I like that. Diamonds are looking fantastic. Take a look at IWM. IWM pulling back a little bit. I'm going to kill that too. There we go. IWM looks like it's pulling back. To me, this is opportunity. It's a good pullback in my opinion. To buy IWM, what we need is just to see that buy signal, and that would put us back in trend. We're actually kind of cracking trend just a little bit. You can see prices below the trend indicator. The dot is red. Prices below the T line, the white line. We have not, the T line has not crossed below the trend indicator, so that's still hanging on just barely. So that's why I said we're just starting to crack it. If we come in here with something like this right here, that would be an indication that the bulls are stepping back in. And now we can start looking at a good trade maybe. And then let's consider this. We have a low, we have a high, and we have a higher low, right? And no matter how bad we crack that trend, we still have a low, high, higher low, don't we? I mean, total failure with price would be right in there. Now, I don't necessarily follow that. In fact, well, I just don't necessarily follow that. If we're close, I will, but if we're not close, I don't. And I don't think this is close. So right now, I'm still looking at the moving average trend here, and it is on the edge of cracking. So we need to get those bulls in there. SMH, take a look at that. We're doing fantastic. Now, for those that like to draw lines, you know, you're probably having a heyday. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, right? Let's see, you're probably doing something like this too. Oh man, we have a high here, we have a high here. Oh, we have a high here. Oh, the world's going to come to an end, right? Wrong. Wrong. I'll bet you can find a chart that looks like that somewhere in here or back here, can't you? And look how that thing trended right up. So price patterns are extremely short term, extremely short term. That's why the trend is so important. Pay attention to the trend, let the patterns happen around the trend, and then follow price. So anyway, a few things. Let's see. Tesla, that's one of those biggies I like to look at. It is not, I don't think I would short it right here, but it is certainly not prime time for to be a bull. COPX is looking really good. Gap down yesterday. In fact, COPX gap down yesterday, holding on the T line. SLV gap down yesterday, and a few of us in the trading room bought it. And now we're very happy with the gap up. So that's working out well. Meta, let's get rid of that kind of in my way here. There we go. Meta's still trying to move up here. It is just moving sideways right now, but here's the trend. The trend has popped up. Price action trend has popped up. And then we've just gone sideways right in here. For the most part, holding our price T-line trend indicator. Right here, price is below the T-line, but we're still above the trend indicator. And now we're starting pre-market here. Looks like that candle's trying to open up. So Meta could be in good shape from there. PLTR is giving me worry and concern, I have to admit. PLTR is on the edge of collapse, and it needs to find some buyers. It's just that simple. It needs to find buyers. XLK, that's still rocking, putting together this little wedge right here. We break out, that's bullish. We break down, that's bearish. Pretty simple. Trading is not hard. XLF moving up. Look at that beautiful trend right there. Look at that. And the trend I'm looking at, by the way, is price, the white line, and the dots. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Look how price rallied up, pulled right back, buying opportunity, pulled up, back, buying opportunity, up, pulled back, buying opportunity, pull up. Is this a buying opportunity? We'll see. XLY, a little bit of a pushback. You can see you've got this evening star here, though, so that kind of did it. And the fact we didn't make a new high. So that's pushing us back a little bit. I don't think the trend is bearish at all. I think we are getting a little pullback here, and you know, it could be a buying opportunity coming up, and that's kind of what I'm going to look at, is a buying opportunity, maybe about right in there at 1220. We already looked at the transports. Did we? Maybe we didn't. The transports here, we're up, and now we're just consolidating overall. We're still holding in place right here. So buyers do need to come in. We are on the edge of cracking a little bit. And if we crack too much, well, we're going to head right down there to the 50-period moving average. So to keep that from happening, you're going to need some buyers. Take a look at RSP. Can we say bullish? Yep, bullish. It's working out really, really nice. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days above the T-line. We call that a T-line run. And right now, I think that's looking fantastic. So it's a nice 3-8 trap right now. It's a buy. Google is setting up very, very nice. Look how the dots have been up. The green dots are up. And then we had some red dots right here. And now we're starting to turn green again. That's one of the, say, chart strategies that I like to see, is when you have green dots, red dots, and then when they turn green again, that's buying opportunity. That right there is rocking. And here we have green dots, we have red dots, and now we're starting to green again. That becomes very tradable in this area. Mags, Mags kind of gave us a bum move yesterday, a day before as well. It kind of needs to hold up here, and it might. Let's see what happens. Not only are we on this trend front line from this low to this low, we're also at the 50 period moving average. Anything below the 50 period moving average, and we should frown on that. That's a problem. We don't want that problem. The 50 is kind of that line that says, yeah, they may be pulling back, but if we're over the 50, for the most part, it's bullish, right? Well, below the 50 period moving average, that just goes away. And that's just flat ass bearish. So the 50 needs to hold. ETHA, we went from this low and then up, and now we're putting in a little price action pattern that I think is good, where you go up and you just kind of carve out that bottom. And now we're starting to move up. It looks like pre-market here, we're back above the T line. We need to move a little higher to get the real buyers to step in. And then maybe we can make some money on this moving up. BITO, nothing there. IBIT. If you look at BITO, we're still clearly to the downside. Price below the T line. Yeah, clearly to the downside. If we look at IBIT, it might be starting to come up. We have the lows, the highs, and we have higher lows, and it's starting to move up. It actually looks a lot like that ETHA. USO really hasn't got, really not doing great. I mean, it's trying to move up, but it needs to break out of both the 50 and the 200 here. NVIDIA is looking good, to tell you the truth. Off the dotted deuce right here, up. Nice little pullback. Trend is working. Overall, fantastic. XLE is trying to put something together. It's trying right now. FNGU, it's stuck in a swamp. Amazon, I'm still holding my AMZU, and I think Amazon is looking pretty good here. I'm going to delete that, clean the chart a little bit. There we go. I've got an alert set right up here just to tell me when Amazon pops up. But right now, Amazon is up. We've got a nice little flag right in here. Some call this a pop out of the box. We start breaking out, especially if we get over this 50% retracement. This is the 61.8 target area, and this is the 75 target area right up there around 246. If we can get 246, I smell 250. So Amazon's looking good to me. Microsoft, maybe trying to put in a bottom. It might be. We have a low, high, higher low, and then a doji continuation pattern with 3 candles right in here, doji continuation pattern, and then a nice little flag pullback. Yeah, that's looking pretty good there. And then, Apple. I'm waiting for a buy signal on Apple. And, Apple could be a buy now for some that, don't wait for necessarily a buy signal. I would just keep that stop in there pretty tight. For me, a buy signal and a place where I would like to buy it. In fact, let's just put a alert in there. And I'm going to go right to that line right there. Boom. I personally, I have no great interest in buying it right here. I have no great interest of picking the bottom and shout out top of my lungs, I picked the bottom. I would rather those bulls come in there. Where's my little tool? If it happens in one day like this, which I don't know if it will or not, but if it did, it would alert, and then I would get very interested in Apple. Could take 10 days before it breaks out there. But right now, that's my alert. Better get it set, though. Talked about it, never did it. All right. Okay. Good morning again, everybody, and thanks so much for being here. Do not forget that John has an open house on the 8th. I forgot what day it was, but it's the 8th. All right. All right, let's take a look at some charts. If anyone want to throw some at me, and then we'll see what we can come up with. I've got one here that I wrote down this morning, and it's the only one I've actually wrote down. BIDU. Take a look at BIDU. Nice gap up this morning. And what I like about BIDU, it's gapping up over that 50% mark, which makes this whole move up as a possible trade up here. And right here at about this 149.30, that would be retesting those highs. So right now, I think BIDU is looking pretty good. I do not particularly think this is a great place to buy it. Timing wise, I don't think it's a great place. It very well may relax a little bit and pull back. So maybe one way to trade this is don't buy a full position. If you're determined to buy a position in it right away this morning, buy a very small position. And if it pulls back, that would give you room maybe to buy more for the next move to the upside on that. Okay. Let's see. H-Man, good morning to you. ALB, bullish, every which way from Sunday. There's our, here, let's do this. Let's do it this way. Arrow. There we go. I'm going to go from that first green dot right there and go to the last green dot here on the hard right edge. Right there's the trend. We're doing everything right. If you go back and look, you know, up, back, up, back, up, back, up, back, that will continue until it doesn't. It's that simple. Okay. Now, I wish I could say, well, when will it stop? I don't think anybody can tell you that. I really don't. The closest we can come is if we see a sell signal in the candlesticks that says, hey, we're going to have a little bit of a pullback, and that pullback just might break what I call my trading trend here, okay? But right now, I think that's looking fantastic. It's a 3-8 trap right now. We start to get that breakout. That would be a nice little breakout on it. I think it's a great looking chart myself. Real nice looking chart. Hey, John, are you looking at some hymns? I don't know. Are you looking at long or short? You know, right now it is to the short side. There is no buy signal here. It looks pretty pitiful, to tell you the truth. Very pitiful, actually. I've got an alert set right up here. So, you know, we have some small bodied candles, you know, that's kind of putting in this, I'll say bottom, but I'm going to use that word very, very loosely here. There's absolutely no reason to think this is the bottom until it is, in fact, the bottom, okay? So if you're looking long, you probably might want to wait for that buy signal. If you're looking to catch a bottom, well, there's nothing wrong with buying that. Just make sure that you have that stop on there if it doesn't work. Keep those losses as small as possible, okay? Hey, Coach, you're looking some BBWI, is that right? Long 3-8 trap? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We've got a 3-8 trap here. You see how the red has gone below the white right here, and now we're up. I think that's a good thing. I think that's a really good. I like that setup. When we go from green to red to green, then that's right there is what I'm really liking. I love that setup. So right now that's looking pretty good. Targets to the upside based on just moving averages would be the 50-period moving average, the dotted deuce up here, which I'm going to draw a line there because it kind of coincides with that price action right here. It's amazing how that works. It really is amazing. And then we've got the 200-period moving average that coincides with this top. So it makes a very good target up there. Let's flag that one. Thank you. That's a nice chart. And it's a buy right now. 3-8 trap. Stop. If it gets below those, you know, if the trend indicator turns red, that might be a good area to be stopped out at. Because you don't know once it's, you know, once a stock starts moving up, you don't know where it's going to stop. You know, the truth is we put ideas out there. You know, it's like, you know, I could say, well, this could stop at the 50-period moving average. I can show you hundreds of stocks that do that. In fact, just looking at this BBIW, look at that right there. Stopped right at the 50-period moving average. And it could go through the 50-period moving average, and I think that's what we will be betting on here. But if it doesn't, and it starts pulling back, and we get red on the dots there, you don't want to be in it because you don't want to get caught in something like this. Trust me, you don't want to do that, right? Anyway, super chart there, Coach. Thank you very much. Good morning, S. Good morning. A little TSN, a little chicken, right? Let's get rid of all that. There we go. So TSN overall, I think the trend is still working here pretty good. Let's do this. So I'm going to go back here. You could go here if you want, I guess. And then I'm going to go right to that green dot, just like that. So what I'm going to need to see to be long is price to step in here and start moving up. To put an alert in there, right there is where I would put the alert at those tops, about 58.80, be alerted, and that might give a reason to get into it. If you're looking at this short, it needs to prove that it can move down a little bit more, and then it may be short. But I'm thinking more to the long side here on this one, long side. Thank you. Yeah, it's already flagged. Hey, Rickster, good morning to you. NIO, I was doing pretty good, right? There we go. Let's get rid of pretty much everything. There we go. So yeah, look at that bottom on NIO here. Actually, that's quite nice. Let's just get that flag right away. Let's look at this. So here we are down, right? And then put in that high right there. And then we come down here or here, same thing. And now up. We've broken out of that. There's your bullish W pattern. I think that is a beautiful chart. I think that's really nice. 50 period moving average would be the next target area, the area to reconsider the trade. I'm not reconsider maybe to take all profits and wait for the next setup. I'm not saying get out of it and kick it to the side and move on. No. I think something we ought to do is take this high right here and go down to this low right there. And then here's the 50% retracement right there, about 60-20. That's 50% back up from this high and this low. So we get through the 50, that would be the next target. Then the next target up would be the 61.8, and that's at $6.50. So from here to that 650, that's almost 17%. That's heck of a trade right in there. Very, very nice. So very nice. Let's see. Wow. Hey, guys over here in social media, thank you very much for posting. Let me get to you over here a little bit. We'll take a look at what you guys have. Thanks very much to be here. SIDU. Oh, that is a chart. I'm going to say bullish. Yeah. Yeah, bullish. I mean, right. I'm going to look at a weekly chart. Look at the bottom that it's created. Good weekly chart pattern right here. So yeah, I would look at this bullishly. I wouldn't chase it. Wait for your setup. That's important. And I don't know what your setup is. Yeah, I don't know what type of entry or anything you look at for that. But if it starts moving up over yesterday, it's a buy. Anything below, and I'd get out of that buy because it could pull back pretty good. And holy Toledo, that's 20%. So this might be a good day trading stock. Might be good day trading. Let's take a look at some Lulu. Lulu looks good to me. Bullish. It's a rounded bottom breakout. It's doing everything right. See the trend? How can you argue with that trend? I just don't think you can. The trend will stay a trend until it's no longer a trend. So we have trend, and now what are we going to do? Let's go get this. Let's make it this. And now what we're going to do is we're going to trade price action within the trend. So let the price action set up to your setup. For me, this is a 3-8 trap. That's a buy. If I'm worried about the 200 period moving average, take it off your screen and you won't be worried about it. You're only worried because you know it's there. That's it. It's the only reason you're worried, because you know it's there. Right here, if you were in this stock and it gapped up, you would have taken the money off the table. It's got nothing to do with the 200. Gaps are gifts. You take your money, it moves back. You're the smartest person in the room. So like I said, don't be afraid of it. If you are, take it off the chart and it's no longer there. Let's see, did I miss any over here? Let's see the banks. Let's take a look at JP Morgan. JP Morgan. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. We have something. I need a drink. Can I get a drink? Thank you. Hey, we need something. We need something. We have something that we call a PBO. It's a pullback opportunity, is what that is, and that's what this is. It's a pullback opportunity. Here's a chart that's rallied up, and here it's pulled back. There's the opportunity. Now, I wish every time it worked out, because say you buy this, it could move down a little bit further. You may want to close it out. You may want to keep it. Maybe you think, JP Morgan probably has a good future, might pull back a little bit more, but you're okay with that. But let's just, the pullback is opportunity. So, whether you're buying it right here, right now, or whether you're waiting for it to maybe break out here. And some traders are going to do that. They're going to wait for that breakout. Some traders are going to even wait for that breakout here. All of you are right. There we go. The whole thing here is we are all trying to buy it here and, within this area. And then what we're looking for is the money right here. Show me the money. And that's where we start making money. But the entries are all in this area right in here. Look at Citi. Yeah, Citi. I think I peeked at that one this morning. Yeah, look at that. That's opportunity, folks. Opportunity. Right here. Opportunity right in here. Look at this. Opportunity. Same chart pattern. Opportunity. Opportunity. Very nice. Thank you very, very much. 3-8 traps. J&J. Thoughts? Bullish right now. Excuse me. Yeah, I would have to say bullish. It's still doing everything just fine. Yeah, it's still doing everything just fine. It needs to break out of that. Looking at another chart over here. Where does that come to? Yeah, it needs to break out of that high right there. There we go. It needs to break out of this high. And then once it does, I think you're on to the money here. Low, high. It's made higher low, I guess, and now we're moving up. So yeah, J&J is a bullish chart. Thank you for posting. Let's see here. Hey, Ivan, NVO. Is that, yeah, NVO. Yeah, bullish. Is this that a weight loss pill? I think I saw this on the news maybe last night. Yeah, thank you for reminding me of this. I think I'm going to flag that. I think I'm actually going to write that one down too. NVO. Okay, so nice little bottom. Actually, it's a very nice little bottom. Actually, let's get rid of that yellow line and let's put another line in there. Let's go from that low to that low. So what we've got ourselves is an inverted head and shoulders here. We are in a rounded bottom breakout setup. That means the next target to the upside is going to be the dotted deuce, followed by the 200 period moving average. Don't forget to look at some price action on your left as well, but that's the targets I would look at. So we've got about 6.5% to the dotted deuce up here, and then 15, almost 16. Yeah, 16 up to the 200 period moving average here as well. We'll take a look at the weekly on this. Very nice weekly bottom. Look at that, pretty. I'm going to put a line at the weekly 50. There we go. Back to the daily, and that's looking really good. Nice chart. Thank you very much, Ivan, for posting that. Hey, Nancy, you're watching some SYM. Too many letters. YM. There we go. SYM. Yeah, we're down. Yeah, you know what? I think I see what you're looking at here. Let's do this. There you go. So we've got close to a double bottom, right? Bullish in golf, we've got a little bit of follow through right here. Next target up, 50 period moving average. I think this is a good candidate to draw these lines on it. Take the top, go down to that bottom. And right here would be the 50% retracement. So you get through the 50, I think that's a great little target right there. Once you break out, and that will likely cause a little bit of resistance. Once it does break out, then we'll be looking at 75, 90, and then even up higher, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for me to check out of here. We're going to look at one more because that's Daryl. Look at Daryl. We talked about this in the room yesterday. Did you ever buy this, Daryl? I think you did, but better ask to be sure. Look at Trade Desk setting up very, very nice here. Watch for that 50%. I'm sorry, that 50 period moving average target, which is 11% away. You didn't. Okay, we'll keep an eye on it today. That's looking really, really good. All right, everyone. Thank you. Yes. Happy New Year's to everybody. If you won't be here, we will be here tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. And we'll see members in the trading room here in about 20 minutes. Okay. You guys all take care. Thank you very much for being here. Later.